Hello, my name is Agnieszka Grabowska. I am a project coordinator in Polish Association of the Deaf. Today I would like to tell you a few words about managing a project. My presentation is divided in two parts. In the first one, I would like to tell you more about the components of the project, how to design the project structure in order to be successful with your goals. Let's start with the definitions. I prepared two for you. The first one is from Oxford English Dictionary. So, according to the dictionary, project is an individual or collaborative enterprise that is carefully planned and designed to achieve a particular aim. From this definition, it's really important to remember that you can do your project as a single person or you can work in a team to get it. But the project is a planned activity and it has its structure and it's designed to get a particular aim, to get a particular product that you agreed with your team or with yourself. In the second definition, stated by one of the youth workers, the project is defined as described as a specific time and in a specific situation, the process of change on one needs to initiate to create a new situation at the definite time in the future. So, from this definition, please remember that the project is very much into the certain time. It means it has its beginning and its end. And also the project is to make a change. The project is orientated to change the future, to create a new solution to some problems. Right, so now let's move to the more characteristics of the project. Uh, what are the project components? First of all, each project needs to have a clear purpose. It means that you need to specify your aims and the results as much as you can. It can't be the general thing like I would like to change the world. It's not specific. Of course, it can be the aim, but how you will measure this change. The second component is the project must be realistic. So, of course, you can aim to travel to the moon, but in this time, at the moment, do you actually have the financial and human resources to have it available for you? As we spoke before, it must be limited in time and space, so you actually need to set the deadline. It must be real. My deadline is 20th of December 2017 and I want to get my product by this time. And of course the space. So it's not somewhere in the universe. Your project is taking place either in the country, in the city, or maybe in a village, but it must be very carefully specified where exactly. The projects are complex, so it means that you need to involve various partners and players with different skills, with different tools. So it's not a single person or a single tool activity. It's much more complicated than that. The projects are collective. So again, it's very much into the complex factor. They always involve people, teams, the different equipment, different skills. This is this collective of the project. They are unique, but they are mostly unique because of the approach to solve a certain problem or to get a certain result. Is quite difficult at the moment to be unique or to be something completely new on the market, but the approach is unique because your team, if you work for the first time on a certain product, your way of perceiving the problem is unique, is new. It's the adventure also, because even if you design it carefully, even if everything is organized, you always need to think about the activities or situations that are unpredictable, that are risky to do. Sometimes you make decisions that are risk, and you never know what the future will be like. So the project is also the adventure. It's planned, but at the same time, you cannot really predict what will be the final result. The project must be able to be assessed also. It means we come back to the purpose again. If you have clear purpose, for example, to organize 10 meetings in schools in Poland, you can assess it. You can check if you actually achieved that. If you say, I'm going to change the world, how are you going to assess this aim? It will be impossible to do it. And the last factor, the last characteristic of the project is that it's made up of stages. You have different stages in the project, not because you develop your product, you developed your activity. So it's very important that you actually design it in the way that you can finish, you can end one stage before you move to another one. So the first one, first you plan it in theory and you finish it and you can write the report about it, and then you start your activity in practice. And again, this is the second stage, and the third stage can be the real product pilot, when you introduce it to your target group. So think about the stages. What kind of stages can you outline in your project? So now, with this knowledge you have, let's start a little task. Let's do the practical approach on the project. Please take a piece of paper and together with your team or on your own spend 20 minutes to answer the following question. The first question, and a very important question, is what is the problem you want to solve? For example, I want to solve the problem of lack of interest in youngsters in education. But this problem is too general, as we spoke before. How will I assess it? So let's say that I will make it more specific. I want to solve a problem of not doing the homework by youngsters. So this is my problem. So I already answered the question for whom, so my project is for youngsters. With whom I'm going to do that? What kind of skills, what kind of tools will I need to complete it? Will I need to solve the problem? That's why, for example, in your teams, you already know that each of you have different skills from the application form. So what kind of skills you have, you will need to use in order to complete your project, to get the final product. The next question you need to answer is why. Why are you going to do that? Because you care, or because it's interesting, or because you feel that it's really worth doing. You need to be involved. You need to see that it's important for you to do the project. So why are you going to do that? Where? This question already appeared. Where all the activities will take place. You can be as specific as you like. The more specific you are, the better. And when? When it will take place? When is the beginning of your project? When is the end? As far as I know, the end is already set, so you know when you will finish your project. And the second very big question, how? What kind of activities do I have to do to make people do their homework with pleasure? So will I design a game So when they play, when they do the homework, they get the points or little surprises? Or will I design the website where they can get more knowledge and the homework will be easier for them? Or will I design with the teachers a special materials so the homeworks are not as boring as they are? How are you going? What kind of activities are you going to plan in order to get the product? So please take 20 minutes and I hope that you will enjoy doing this task. Welcome back, and just to let you know, what you just finished is the first part in the project cycle that is called planning. So before you start putting into action your idea, you need to plan everything carefully. And once you have it planned, once you know what to do with whom and how, then you can start the practical approach. So you start the implementation of your idea. You you do it in reality. You meet with your people in reality. You meet with the teachers in reality. You design the things. So everything becomes to be more and more realistic. At the same time, it's written as the third stage, but it should be actually in the same line of management and implementation. There is the monitoring stage. As we said, each stage of your project should it's good to check if you go in the right direction. At some point, you need to stop. You need to look again at your plan and check if all the activities are going according to the plan. Of course, sometimes you will need to change something a little bit, but you need to be sure that all the activities, all your actions are taking you directly to your final product, to the product you want to achieve. And the last stage is evaluation. So once you finish your project, you need to take a step back and look at the whole process in the project. What kind of actions, what kind of activities made your product real? Why the project was successful? What kind of actions did you take to make it successful? This knowledge will help you to repeat the success in the future in your future projects. But also the evaluation will help you if the project wasn't successful or if not everything went the way you wanted to. So what kind of behaviors, what kind of actions you should avoid in the future? This knowledge will allow you to be more successful in the future. Of course, the project have its cycle, but our mood, our emotions in the project are also changing. And as you can see on this photo, first of all, when you have the idea, and once the idea is in your head, you probably think about implementing it or not. So at the beginning, you might be a little bit skeptical if you actually if it's worth starting with the project or maybe not really. But once you make this decision and once you say, okay, let's do it, you feel very enthusiastic, you feel full of energy, and you start doing it, you start working. And then, little by little, you actually realize that working on the project is taking your time, is taking your energy, that maybe sometimes you don't see the results straight away, and you start asking a question: is it worth actually doing it? Where will it bring me to? So you feel more and more low with your emotions, low with your energy. And then when you get to the point when you ask yourself, should I actually continue? Then you are in the dark night of the project. But don't worry, we all get there at some point. And if you overcome these emotions, if you overcome this bad mood, if you continue working, you will start see the results of your project. You will start to change your way of thinking, that you will see that the project wasn't a bad idea, and instead of different problems, you move forward till the end, when you stay on the top, when everything is finished, and when you actually can say that you are a successful person and that you managed. The second photo also shows how the project work in our heads and how it works in reality. On the top picture you can see how you plan it, because usually when we plan it we don't expect any uncertain situations or any problems. So our way to get to the top, our way to the final product is very straight and very easy. But the reality, of course, is different. As we spoke before, you have ups and downs, and you have unexpected situations. Maybe sometimes you will have to change your activities a little bit. But if you are very much orientated to get to the end, to get your product, you can overcome all your obstacles and you can be a successful team. So, just to give you some tips and ideas, what you should avoid while planning and implementing the project, so you can avoid its failure. Uh, Please remember that the whole team should be involved in the planning, problem solving system. You should all be very much into this project. You should feel that this project is important to you, that you all want to do it. Otherwise, it might cause the failure of the project. Is not everyone is fully or enough into it. Then please think about the communication in your team. When there is a single person project, it's easy. You can just communicate with yourself. But imagine you have 5 different people with 5 different skills, with 5 different ways of thinking, with 5 different opinions about the same thing. How will you communicate in this team? How you will make all the members in the team feel that the way they think, that they are important, that that you respect them all, that you respect all the opinions. How will you make the decisions? Will that be a democratic, or you will have the leader who will have the last word? How? What will be the communication system in your team? Please think about it carefully at the beginning. Then the technical skills and administrative skills. Sometimes you think that you can do it or you are good at something, but then in the end you see that maybe not really, that you might need help of the others. So please don't be shy. Ask for help. Say that you can't do it on your own, or you thought you can but you don't have enough skills. It's better to say that rather than to pretend that everything is fine, and then in the end you will not have your task completed and you will not be able to move forward to the next stage, and the time is running, of course. And the last two we already spoke about it. It's unrealistic project schedules. So think carefully how much time you can spend on the project. Remember about your other obligation, your schools, your families, your friends. So you will not be able to sacrifice all your time only for this project. Make it realistic how much time each day or each week you can spend on the project. And again, unrealistic, unclear project goals. Please, while planning the goals, while writing about it, try to be as specific as you can. To make it um, try to make it easy to check, easy to evaluate. So, before the end of this session, I would like to say yes, you can. You can do the successful project. You can design great product. You can work as a team member. You can work as a leader. You can everything you want to. When you are involved, when you see that you that you are really into it. So, in the next session, I would like to tell you more about the team itself, about the budget, and about the evaluation. For now, thank you very much. If you have questions, please contact me on Edmodo or on email, and good luck.